Hi, Roxy here. Today we are going to work on a whimsical landscape using Arteza Gouache. So I already sketched out my landscape. I will be using my student grade Arteza Gouache. I don't have any more yellow, so I have this Holbein Yellow. And also I am using my Graham White. And so those are the gouaches I will be using today. Now, mind you, Arteza is a student grade. It's not like Holbein, but you can still create beautiful paintings with them. Now, the first thing I decided to do is start out with a light wash. And just so it can have some background color, I'm kind of placing the colors where I think they need to go, putting that yellow down for the sun area. And then I am adding a second layer. The first layer is basically dry, and this layer is a little bit thicker than the first layer, but not that thick. I will be adding thicker layers as I go on. The thickest layer will probably be the very last layer, like the touch-ups and highlights or anything like that. Now that the second layer is dry, I'm adding another layer on top of that. It's not much thicker than the first one, but as you layer, it really becomes more opaque. Right now I'm using like a 3/4 inch of flat brush, but I will be using many different brushes throughout this painting. Just whatever I feel like will help me get the little details that I need. And of course, the larger brush is for larger areas. And so it helps spread the paint better. So the first layer in the sky is pretty thin, so adding these layers on top really doesn't disturb the layer underneath. But once I get these thicker layers on there, I have to be very careful. I can't put too watery of a paint down. And the good thing about gouache is if you layer something, a certain color on there, and then you want to add another color next to it, you can blend them together very easily. And so the sky, I'm trying to capture what I see in the photograph, but I'm not going to be exact. This is from a reference photo, but I'm going to make it look a little more whimsical. I'm not going to be a perfectionist in terms of it has to be representational. No, it's just like a whimsical interpretation or impression of what I see. Well, I have to apologize because I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So here we are, moving ahead. I am adding the little trees in the background now. Adding these little sparkles in the water, well, that sure wasn't easy. I kept struggling to find the right brush. So those little vines that you see, those thin little lines of vines and grass, well, I had to use my liner brushes. These are so great for those type of details. The other smaller brushes, they were just too thick. I couldn't get a thin enough line, nor could I get enough paint on them. I'm actually using my liner brush here to get those fine details. So the pinkish orange highlight in the water just wasn't bright enough, so I used the neon paints. Okay, so I think I'm getting satisfied here, and I'm just adding the last touches and details, and then I'll be done. I just wanted to share that this is a wet palette. It's Master Sun's Stay Wet palette, and I love it because this paint just stayed wet for days. I like to play around with Arteza Gouache, and so next time I will be using my professional Holbein gouache, and there's a big difference, probably a lot brighter, and of course light fastness is important. And there you have it, I'm done. A beautiful whimsical landscape, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it and subscribe. Thank you.